Hi, and welcome back to Steamworld. And today we will produce a different kind of steam, a hotter kind of steam. But before we do that, let's talk about some changes. Most of the changes are just due to time. For example, I'm pretty much out of coal here. I'm pretty much out of copper here. Very little iron left here. Here too. So I will have to deal with that. But when I went out and killed a few biters and I came back, my whole factory shut down. So I changed how my steam is delivered. There are now steam off stations and steam off priority stations, and since there are only 2 priority stations, it will go there more often than to the non-priority stations. Yeah, I prepared there, and I added this one, which produces solid fuel from the oil stuff I produce here, just to have a bit more fuel when the coal is running out. I plan to have another coal field then, most likely this one. But let's get a bit independent of coal and produce some nuclear stuff. I've got everything here to produce nuclear fuel cells, uranium fuel cells. Let's get started with that. Okay, how many do I need? Not that many. Those are quite quick. Let's do 10. 3 inputs, 1 output, so a very standard design here. Oh, I forgot, I upgraded my power armor and got personal robots, so I should use them, don't you think? And I will run out of output soon. Okay, let's set them to, where are they? There. I should have added the inserters. And this should be running. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of the U235. Since my enrichment is constantly running, there are 400 in here again, so I think it will be fine as long as I mine enough uranium. Let's get rid of stuff. Okay, well, let's build the train here and switch to the more interesting part, the nuclear reactors. I've got no fuel. Let's grab some coal from here. We can fuel the train on the other side, on the other station. Why did I call this fuel cell and this one fuel cells? Well, let's fix that. Wait. And now what? Am I an idiot, or did this game just troll me? Let's go. Okay. I know what happened. I pasted to this and that changed it. I think I had some material here. Yeah. I've got 6 nuclear reactors. And I want to do a 3x2, 2x3, whatever. I'm not entirely sure this will work. They don't block the heat pipes this way, so this should be enough to bring in and remove used fuel cells. Let's use those to connect to the main grid. I'm not sure how much heat those can pipe. But I want the heat exchangers moved away a bit, so I hope they produce enough or can transport enough. And I'm out of heat pipe. Let me grab some more. And by grab I of course meant uncraft. Because I have no separate station for them. So uncrafting time. How much water do I need for heat exchangers? let me check that on Google. Okay, I think and hope this one will work. It's only the second time I've built a reactor setup, and the first time was just a single reactor. I don't know what the throughput on the seed pipes is. And I realized if I just add the steam, it will not be used or cannot be used effectively by turbines. So let's do that just to check if the reactor setup works. And I decided not to start all 8 reactors, 6 reactors, only 2 of them at this time. No symmetry here. Should be fine. If I connect these, nothing bad happens. Okay. Let's bring in the spent fuel cells. I will not put on the train. I will process it here, but not today. And I need to go down there for a moment. Okay, I need this. You are the input. Oh, worked better than expected. And I'm out of belt. But these start to run. Let me grab the belt and see if they are working. Okay, so the reactor itself isn't hot enough yet. And I will need to pick up. And you can go. And let's put you in here. Let's disable you. I like the new deconstruction planner. Makes a lot of things a lot more easy. So they have gone through at least one fuel cell and are still quite cold. Okay, those should reach 500 soon, and soon after this should start. Those produce 40 megawatts of heat. Doubled because they are next to each other. So each of them is 80 megawatts, so 160 megawatts. But I got 40 heat exchangers, which consume 10 megawatts. A bit overkill for 2 reactors. I've got around 60 of the boilers, which are a third of one of these heat exchangers, so I can't replace this system with this. If I add 2 more reactors, it should be fine. Even 1 more, and I have a higher power output. But then I need to replace all steam engines with steam turbines. And we've got steam. Okay. You can't see it, but these 4 are working. No, this is working. Okay, overall the system will work. If I add 2 more reactors, this will produce 120. All of these will produce 120 megawatts. So I will need 50 heat exchangers for that. More, 60. So I need another row of those. But let's add 1 more. And end this episode here. But in between I will replace all steam engines with steam turbines. And since we have a much higher density in this steam, does this work? This is so it's increasing the temperature of the steam, which these can't use. But they are kind of mixing here. Okay, so yeah, that should be an improvement. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.